What's happening, guys? Jason up, New Age Revolution down here in the cave. Third straight day with a video. It's a Sunday. I love these three video weekends. We did Wrestling with the Past yesterday. That's looking good. Real quick today, I just want to talk about some movies, some stuff that I have bought in the last week or two. My plan for movies going ahead, my plan for the Blu-ray collection. What else? More importantly than that, ever since the channel began, I have always gotten feedback from people that talk about how much the channel and the content helps them through stuff, right? I've got guys that talked about, the channel helped them through drug addiction and depression and all sorts of stuff. And I love that because the channel helps me through stuff too. Coming down here is therapeutic for me. And apparently it's therapeutic for you guys. So I wanted to just give a special hello to a guy that left a comment 3 days ago. His name is Wretched Hive Collect. I don't know if that's the name that he's always had or if he's been posting under a different name, but I don't recall seeing Wretched Hive Collect in the comments. But anyway, he said that I won't read the whole thing because you guys can go read it. It's a comment from 3 days ago. Basically, he says that today I had cervical spine fusion surgery. I played rugby for 20 years and suffered a fractured skull about 7 years ago. He's been really sick for the past 2 years, headaches, severe neck pain, vision issues, balance issues, brain scans, random tests. Finally, they decide that he needs surgery, and he says, I'm home and I'm sore. But then he says, but then I see this posting. When I wasn't researching my health issues, I watched your videos. When things got dark, I could depend on you to post some content that would make me forget, even if for a moment. It meant the world. Tonight, lying still, trying to ignore the pain, I started feeling down, wondering if the surgery was going to get me on the right track to good health. I decided to check out YouTube, and first thing I see was your AWA Remco posting. You started the video by saying it was between Rocky and Remco. AWA Remco's my favorite toilet. Anyway, your choice in some weird way made me feel like everything was moving in the right direction and I would be fine moving forward. That's outstandingly, unbelievably cool. That's right. Outstandingly, unbelievably cool. No, I mean, look, that, I feel the same, like I have the same humbled, overwhelmed feeling when people send me stuff. But I also have a different kind of humble, overwhelmed feeling when people tell me how important the channel is to their lives. And I really never thought that could be a thing, but it is. And I know it's a thing because there are some channels out there that make me feel good. Not a lot, but some. I'm getting all kinds of ridiculously positive feedback from people, a YouTube sensation, YouTube legend. Just stop it. Stop it. It's this stuff, though. The people, again, who watch the videos, take a trip back in time, and then just feel better about whatever's going on in their lives in the moment. My 20 minutes of rambling helps them. And I'll never be, I'll never overlook that or take that for granted or not realize the power of it. It's awesome. So I hope my guy is doing good with his surgery. I hope my man Bale is doing all right. Yeah, so that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, and you're welcome, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so I've been watching a ton of movies lately. I am still doing my TV shows. We'll do that first. I have watched, not necessarily, I think I reviewed them with you, but I have watched and completed The A-Team, The Sopranos. I mean, we're going back a little ways. The Brady Bunch, Leave It to Beaver, Dallas, Magnum P.I., MacGyver, Elf, and The Golden Girls. Those are shows that I have completed from my collection. Not that I won't watch them again. Sopranos is almost due for another watch. It'll probably be the 5th time I've watched it. But those are the ones I've completed. So I just finished Golden Girls on 12/12/21. Right? Just finished Golden Girls mid-December 21. And then I watched G.I. Joe. And I finished G.I. Joe quickly. And that was awesome. And now I'm on to Different Strokes. And the case is broken for some reason. That's weird. Anyway, I'm watching... Wow, this is falling apart. I'm watching Different Strokes, and I'm up to the 3rd season. And I don't know. I don't love it. I'm not madly in love with the show. I think the 3rd season is 1980. So we haven't even like cracked into my era yet, right? We're still in like, late 70s, early 80s. It's okay. I think there's 6 or 7 seasons of it. I'll get through them quickly. It's not the best show. I don't know. Here's the problem with it. I don't know if it's a problem. It just represents a different time, and it represents a time that we're in now. This show is very, 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 very focused on, race and, black kids living with a white dad. And it's, I don't know if it's okay or cool to see the humor or not cool to see the humor. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm uncomfortable watching the show because, they really every other episode, there's some issue with race. Like Willis and Arnold wanted to, their black friends came over and said that they were not black enough, that they were starting to act too white. And then so Willis and Arnold, reclaimed their heritage. But, over the top with, African music and African costumes and dancing and drumming. And I was like, what? My stomach hurt watching it. But again, different time. Different time. Now, aside from that uncomfortableness, it's a cute show, right? It's fun. It's cute. Kimberly is kind of a knockout, or will be eventually. I think she's 15 in this. Scratch that. I didn't say that. Eventually, Dana Plato knockout. Here's what I don't like. Arnold's annoying. Okay, Gary Coleman, great. I'm thankful for his career. Awesome. Kid actor, great. I have a hard time watching kids be too cute or too adulty. And Gary Coleman's 8 or 9 years old in this, and he's so adulty with his wisecracks and his humor. Obviously, it's written for him, it's a TV show, but he just whips off these one-liners, and it's okay. Honestly, the guy I like the most is Mr. Drummond. Mr. Drummond's a pretty cool dude. Willis is okay. Kimberly's okay. Arnold just bugs me. He's just I don't know, he bugs me. But anyway, Different Strokes. I got 4 more seasons to watch on that. There's 20, 22 episodes per season. I sometimes hammer out 2 a day. We'll get it through. After this, I'm watching Growing Pains. And then probably another cartoon, a shorter cartoon. Maybe Legend of Zelda or what is that one? Dungeons and Dragons, something like that. But Growing Pains is next, and then cartoon, and then I'm going to go into the cabinet and start picking stuff that I have not seen. It's going to be great. Okay, so movies I've been watching like crazy. I don't know what it is. I watch a lot of movies, and I stay up until 1 in the morning. I hang out on the couch by myself, and that's my time to unwind. And I've been writing them down. I've just been watching a ton of movies. Last couple of ones I've watched, Friday the 13th Part 4, because I want to be able to do my favorite Friday the 13th tournament. Creed, which was incredible because I want to do my favorite Rocky movie tournament, and I want to include the Creeds. So good. I've got Creed 2 upstairs. I got to watch it. Last couple of nights, I watched 2 movies on Shudder, which were great. Here's the deal. I like horror. And I'm not a judgy horror guy, right? I don't judge horror. I hate reading, stuff on like IMBD or Rotten Tomatoes or whatever, where these stuffy people just trash horror movies. Like, oh, so predictable, not scary. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. Just sit down and watch a horror movie and be a kid and be into it and be scared and have a good time. So there's two movies that I'm recommending to you if you are not a stuffy movie critic. If you're a stuffy movie critic, don't watch them. They're both on Shudder, and they're both Shudder exclusive. Like Shudder made them. And I have been really enjoying Shudder's movies, their own movies. The host was good, like an internet movie, like everything was online, like in a Zoom chat. Superhost was fun and silly. That's in stores now. That's at Walmart for like $9.99 on DVD. They don't even have Blu-ray. But that was fun. You know, Superhost is like I love movies that are now about like bloggers and vloggers and YouTube people and Zoom calls and shit. Like there's haunted Zoom call movies. I love those because, you know, we're living in that stupid time and I enjoy them. Anyway, the two movies I want to recommend, they're both on Shudder. One is called Terrified. Not just your haunted house movie, but pretty much your haunted neighborhood. So a lot of the houses in the neighborhood are have their own stuff going on, and we got to find out why. And another one that I really liked was called Stillborn, which is sometimes hard for me to watch those kind of movies because they involve babies and kids, and you know, that kind of freaks me out. If you have kids, when you have kids, you get really uncomfortable watching movies about kids. Like it freaks you out. But Stillborn was pretty awesome. Those two are on Shudder right now. If you have Shudder, it's great. If you don't, it's like $4.99 a month for awesome, like unlimited horror movies. It's great. And the Shudder originals. Then I jumped on Amazon and I said, you know what? I'm going to start picking off 80s movies that I haven't seen or that I haven't seen in a long time or that I didn't care about when I was younger. Right? There's so many good 80s movies that I have not tapped at all. Haven't looked at them, haven't cared. But I just started buying them, and I know that is not the most that's not the most intelligent way to spend money, is to buy, you know, Blu-rays for $19.99 of a movie that is, you know, all over every streaming site for free, probably on TBS for free. But I don't care. You know, it's my money, and I've got some, so I can spend it. So I've been picking these off, and I'm going to continue to do this. I'm going to continue to buy 80s movies because overall, ultimately, that is my favorite atmosphere of a movie is 80s. 80s kids, 80s fashion, 80s houses, furniture, decor, you know, everything. Schools, high schools, love it. So here's what I got. I got Beverly Hills Cop, the 3-movie collection off Amazon, and I think only one of these is an 80s movie. Oh, that's not true. 1 and 2. Well, 1 is 84, and that's perfect. Beverly Hills Cop 1, I watched a couple nights ago or a couple weeks ago. It was great. Beverly Hills Cop is a fun movie. Eddie Murphy was a genius, you know, back in these days. Beverly Hills Cop 2 is 87, and then Part 3, which they probably never planned on making originally, was in 94. So we got all 3 movies in there, and this is fun. You know, Axel Foley with his Eddie Murphy laugh, you know, whatever. Great stuff. He's funny. Eddie Murphy's funny. Next up, we got another 2-pack, and I wouldn't have gotten the first movie, because I don't really like anybody in it, but I'm okay with it because I had to get this one to get the second movie, because the second movie alone was more expensive than the 2-pack. Anyway, I wanted to see St. Elmo's Fire, and in order to do that, I had to get a 2-pack with About Last Night. So About Last Night is blah, 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 blah. How come the dates just aren't like, bam, just written right on here? They're not. About Last Night is 86. St. Elmo's Fire is 85. I never even knew that St. Elmo's Fire was a... I'm going to tell you something really stupid. I didn't know that St. Elmo's Fire was a movie about the 80s and about young people in the 80s. So instead of like an 80s high school kids movie, St. Elmo's Fire is an 80s college kids movie. Like out of college, into the workforce kind of thing. And I didn't know that. I confused St. Elmo's Fire with Chariots of Fire. So all this time I thought that St. Elmo's Fire was like a silly adult grown-up movie. But it's not. And they got, what a great cast. I mean, we've got Emilio Estevez, Andrew McCarthy, Demi Moore, Ali Sheedy, Judd Nelson. Great bunch. So I'm looking forward to that. About Last Night probably isn't all that bad either. Jim Belushi, Demi Moore, Rob Lowe, Elizabeth Perkins. Probably not horrible. I'll watch it. I definitely will watch it. But I'm looking forward to St. Elmo's Fire because I think it's almost like a Breakfast Club type movie. Not a Breakfast Club, but like those John Hughes movies, like 16 Candles, but with like people fresh out of college trying to find their way in life in the 80s. Should be great. I like it. Next up, of course, and this was a movie that I never cared about, never wanted to watch. When I was a kid, I didn't like, or when I was a teenager in my 20s, I didn't like Anthony Michael Hall. I didn't like him. But how fun is this going to be? I haven't seen Weird Science straight through my entire life. I have not. I think it's probably great. And I'm really excited about the scenery, the atmosphere, the 80s atmosphere. This is like 84, I think. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to see this. What is it? I don't know. It's probably 84, 85. But, yeah. Weird Science. These are all like $10 to $20 on Amazon. And again, you're all going, what are you doing? Just stream. You know how I feel about streaming. You know that I'm going to spend $20 on a movie that was on TBS the other day. Weird Science. This one I thought was older than it is. This one is 93. And that doesn't thrill me at all. But I'll watch it. And I got this confused with another movie. I got this confused with, what is that movie where the dead guy, like the dead kid comes back from like the 60s or something. I don't know, it was in the 80s. He got in a car wreck and he comes back. He's like an angel. I forget what it's called. But I thought it was this one. This one's My Boyfriend's Back. My Boyfriend's Back. Probably fine. Probably great. It's from 1993. I'm looking forward to it. Battery's about to run out. But anyway, that's what we've been doing with the movies. And we're going to keep doing it with the movies. I'll watch those. I'll tell you what I thought of them. And we'll go from there. That is all. Watch some movies. I'm going to watch some movies. We'll see y'all later. Good night now.